Welcome back. It's Anne. I'm so excited to talk to you guys today about these are my favorite products. So it feels like so fun and exciting to talk. These are products that most of them I've repurchased, and the ones that I haven't, I plan to repurchase. They're the sort of criteria for this video that I used when I was picking out the products is because I know about these products and have them. I don't shop for other products in that category. I'm oh, this is my brow product. I'm set, I'm good. I don't need to be trying new brow products to find a new one, which isn't to say that I'll never try a new brow product. So we're gonna start with eye products because I always do my eye products before my face. And this is a product that I haven't repurchased, but I think I probably will. And it's an eyeshadow palette, so I think that's kind of a major deal. This palette, which is the Creepy Cute palette from Strobe Cosmetics, which was recently renamed Shroud Cosmetics. This is a palette of pastels that also has a black and a gray marrying of sort of goth aesthetics with cutesy color. As an aesthetic, feels totally aligned with me and my whole vibe, and I just love to look at this. The outer packaging is super adorable. It has only 8 shades, which I think is a really good size for a palette. To be honest, I don't use the gray and the black in here a ton, although they're great shadows. But the pastels in here are everything to me. I do love colorful makeup. My favorite kinds of colorful shades are these lighter pastel tones. I just find them easier to wear, more fun to, for me, obviously. You do you, but these are just for me so easy to wear and such an easy way to incorporate more fun, more colorful shades into my makeup. So I couldn't imagine being without this. The pigment on these are pretty insane for pastel shades. The lavender does require a little bit more building than the others, I find. Strawberry Milk is almost a neutral because it's just this kind of peachy pink. It's almost an everyday shade, at least on me and my skin tone, but it's also really beautiful. And then obviously these 2 shades I super love, and they're all matte, which works really well for me. Angelica Nyqvist, who's an amazing YouTuber and makeup artist. I don't think she works as a makeup artist, but her makeup looks are amazing. She's really talented. She talks about this palette as being a great resource to find transition shades for colorful looks so that you can blow out maybe a brighter or more saturated or darker other colorful shade, which this palette does work amazing for that, and I use this palette that way all the time. I used Cold Shoulder that way today. They also, I think, stand alone really well. They combine with each other beautifully. I've done looks with Cold Shoulder and Strawberry Milk together. I've done looks with the lime green shade and the orange shade before, so I just think that this makes for a really versatile and beautiful and super fun palette. And for me, it's such a go-to that I would totally buy it again. Next one is another eye product, and it's the Milk Makeup Longwear Gel Eyeliners. These are retractable liners. I don't wear a ton of eyeliner. I have semi-hooded eyes, and so I don't like to fill up my lid space with eyeliner, but I do basically every single day, no matter what I'm doing in terms of wearing makeup. Wear black eyeliner on my tight line and a nude eyeliner on my waterline to make my eyes appear wider and bigger. It's hard to find liners that work well in the waterline and in the tight line and don't smudge and get gross and yucky, and it's also kind of hard to find a matte true beige shade. There's a lot of liners out there that are kind of a sparkly nude shade or a matte, more pinky shade, but what I like is a true beigey neutral matte shade, and that, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see that. It's basically my skin tone, so it really takes down any redness in the waterline and just makes my eyes appear wider without it being stark or harsh at all. And then the black one is just a perfect, really deep, dark matte black. One thing you're gonna notice in this video that I meant to mention earlier is that I love Milk Makeup. Milk Makeup is probably like my favorite makeup brand, so I'm gonna mention a few more products from them in this video. But these liners are definitely a staple, and they're something that I keep going back to, and I just like, I'm glad that these, because they are like such a staple and such kind of like a basic, unexciting product, they're not fun for me to like shop for or buy. So it's really nice to have these that are no fail for me, ride or die, and work really well. So I love these. And they also come with this little guy on the back side, which is a little smudger. So if you wanted to like smoke out the black liner, which I've used it that way, that smudger works really, really well. The next is a product that I seriously love so much. I've like recommended this to friends before. I think that it's really underrated. I think it's like an unsung hero of like Sephora, and it's the Dr. Jart Cicapair Tiger Grass Color Correcting Treatment, and I use this basically like a BB cream. This is how it looks in the jar. It looks like this kind of like sagey green color, but then when you work it into the skin, it turns to a really nice like beigey shade, kind of like works for, it's like very light coverage. So if you're anywhere in like the light to I mean really like it's meant for light skin tones, which is kind of like the big drawback of this product, is it's not super inclusive, and that's kind of like a lot of BB creams come in like one shade. So if you think about those kinds of products, if those work for you, then this probably will. If not, this probably won't. So I would love to see them expand the shade range somehow on this kind of product, or at least come out with like a couple of like darker shades, because I think that this product is amazing. It really helps neutralize redness because of the green in it. And then it just like creates this beautiful like no makeup look on the skin. I love using this like alone with just powder on like everyday days. I probably reach for this more than like my Real foundation. It has SPF 30 in it as well, so it's great to get that extra protection. And then it has that like Cicapair and those skincare benefits, so it's gonna give your skin a lot of moisture. Really is like a great like multi-purpose product, and because of that I reach for it all the time. And this jar is expensive. It's like $52, so it's definitely like an investment product, but it's a big jar and it will last you a long time. So this is my second one of it. I also don't love that it's in a jar packaging. I use a little like scoop to get it out of here because it is, you know, not the most sanitary packaging. They do have a version of this product that's like in a dropper and it's more liquidy. I don't like the formula of that one as much as this one, but if you have more oily skin or you really don't like to use products in jar packaging, then I think that one would be worth looking into. Next is another product from Milk Makeup that I reach for all the time. I probably literally reach for like 95% of the time that I wear makeup, and it's the Milk Makeup bronzer. It's a cream matte bronzer in a stick. I use this by like drawing it on and then I blend it out with a brush, and I use this whether I'm using something like this, something really like no makeup or if I'm wearing like full coverage. I have it on today, you can kind of see. I also have like a little bit of light blush and highlighter on, a little bit of warmth to it, so it gives that like naturally kind of sun-kissed look, but it's not orange at all, and it just blends out so beautifully and feels so like light on the skin. I have a few like powder bronzer and like contour products, and I just don't like reaching for them in comparison to this. And you also get a ton of product in here. You'll like never go through this. It's that kind of product. And I do use the shade Baked, but they actually do make a darker shade, which I love to see. I think a lot of times brands do very inclusive shade ranges for bronzer, so it's great that they have, you know, 2 shades, but I'd love to see them come out with even more. I would love to see a lighter shade in this because I like the shade of this one, but I think a lighter shade may suit me even better, or maybe a more cool tone shade. You know, I think that there's definitely like room to expand in this range, but I also think that this works for a lot of people from like very fair to medium skin tones, and then there is the darker option. So I think it's worth checking out, and I love it. It also wears really well. And I do always set it with powder. I basically always use powder on my skin, whether I'm using like something really light like the Dr. Jart, or foundation, or even like just concealer and powder is something I do a lot. So the next product I have is actually the powder from Milk Makeup. This is their Blur and Set. And what I love about this is that it doesn't make my skin look too matte, but it does like really improve the wear of my makeup, sets down all of my cream products, and gets my skin ready for powder, like powder blush and highlight and things like that. And it really does like blur imperfections on the skin. I really like sometimes to wear like either just the Dr. Jart or no base product and just concealer, and then this. And this doesn't, I don't find that it provides a lot of like coverage, but it just like beautifully blurs like texture on the skin. And I do have like a lot of texture, especially on this side of my face, which I don't necessarily want to cover with like heavy makeup, but I also don't like the look of. And I find that this works really well to make that area of my skin look really good without making me like look like I have cakey makeup on or more matte than I want to be, because I do like to have some radiance in my skin. So this is, I think, my second or third pot of this powder, and I feel like it got like some buzz when it first came out, but I don't hear people talking about it as much anymore, and I think that it's great. Next is the last Milk Makeup product, and the second to last product that I have to mention, and it is their brow gel. I have naturally pretty full brows and like well-shaped brows. I'm kind of like lucky in that way, so I don't like to do a lot to them. I like to kind of just like let them live their best life and like look natural, but I do like to put a little bit of like a tinted gel through them to help hold them in place throughout the day. I'm like trying to show you my brows, but then in the process I made my bangs look all crazy. That's fine. To kind of hold them in place and add a little bit more color to them to kind of fill in any sparse areas and just make them look a little bit better. And this is my favorite product to do that with. I used to be a total like boy brow stan. That was like my go-to thing. And I find that this has a little bit more color than boy brow. The brush is very similar, but it just like is a little bit more impact, still looks really natural, and I like the hold of it a little bit better than boy brow. I definitely don't think boy brow is a bad product, and they're so comparable, so it's like kind of hard to like really say. But, and I also find that this lasts significantly longer than boy brow. I don't know if there's more product in here or if it just is less prone to drying out or whatever, but this for me lasts like months longer than boy brow, so it's a little bit more expensive, but for me it's worth it because of that. This lasts me like months and months. I don't know how they do it. It seems to just like be the brow gel that will never die. I did recently expand the shade range, so this is the shade Dutch, which is a like medium brown, and they do have a shade that's called like Herb, which I think is more of like a neutral tone, like even less warm than this, but still like a medium brown shade, and I really do want to try that one. Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This is a cult classic. I think I got my first bottle of this when I was in like 8th grade. They've had it forever, and it just is a great product. I work full-time, so I am usually like at work wanting to like look nice for 8 hours, and then sometimes I do stuff after work, and I just want my makeup to last, especially when I use stuff like the Dr. Jart and stuff that's not really like made to be like heavy duty makeup, but I really need it to like hold up for days that are like pushing up to 12 hours. This really comes through, and it gives me the ability to wear like more of that no makeup, like easy breezy stuff, and get the heavy dutiness out of it that I need. It's kind of a rough thing to put on your skin because it is that kind of like hairspray for your face type of setting spray, so it's like full of denatured alcohol and that kind of stuff. But I find that if I prep my skin really well, use like a hydrating primer, a hydrating like skin base products that, and then like take my makeup off as soon as I can, that this is okay. It doesn't like fuck up my skincare too badly. And I try to not use this when I'm not going to be having a long day, when I know that it's not going to be like too long of a day, then I will put this down. But it is hard to resist, and it also does a good job of like taking down the powdery look and kind of melding all your powders together. So for me, this kind of serves like multiple purposes in that way, and it's just been a favorite for, this is like the longest standing favorite in this video of products, all of which I've been loving for more than a year. Most of them like closer to 2 years or more than that. This one has been like 10, like seriously a long-standing love affair with this guy. That is everything that I wanted to share. Those are all my like ride or die favorites. There are a lot of other products like lip products that I didn't mention, and like blushes and highlighters and those kinds of things that I love using and that I would like, you know, you can pry them from my cold dead hands, but they're not like staples like these are for me. For me, these are like the A-team, like these are the things I would like run out and buy first, because I feel like I can't like wear makeup without these things. So that's why I wanted to share them with you, and I'm sure that you'll see them mentioned in lots of future videos because like I said, I just use them the most of everything that I have. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.